and hello. I am Admiral Trench, and this is Game 1. I'm on a time constraint, but I think I can get one out really quick, and I'm excited to get it going. It's either do it now or never. I shouldn't say never, but what I mean to say is it's either do it now or do it until like Monday or Tuesday. So I'll have a busy weekend ahead of me, and I probably won't get to do it, so I got to do it right now. Let me get all the pieces where they need to be, and then we can get the game going. I'm pretty excited. This is my first upload. I don't know if I'm going to have any problems, and if there are problems, worst case scenario, I'll have at least gotten a fun game of Dune in. I know that the microphone leaves much to be desired, so I apologize for that now. But it's all I have for now, so we're just going to have to make do. Shuffling my hand. Okay, I just shuffled my hand, and I'm looking at in my opinion, this is a pretty bad hand. I've got Seek Allies, 2 daggers, convincing arguments, and experimentation. Usually when I use Seek Allies, it's always for a fold space. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that because might as well just get it out of the way. You know what, though? I like my odds. I'm going to wait till the second turn to get my fold space, because right now I'm going to use experimentation at Haga Bazin. I'm going to spend my water now, get 2 spice. For those of you who may not know, this is a good way to start the game. Go into that position so you get your spice. Actually, you know what? I apologize. This is not Dune Digital with the base game. This is Dune with all the expansions. So maybe I need to rethink my strategy. I have to get out of digital mode. Yeah, the idea would be to go to the sell melange, and then you could sell spice for Solari. It's a good way to get money for a Swordmaster early game. But I forgot, we're not playing base game Dune. Conflict is good. In fact, if I go to interstellar shipping now, I'll be able to get 1 Solari. I can move up 1 on the Chom track. And if I win this combat like I plan to, I'll get 1 extra troop and another bump on the Chom track. So I can get money right out of the gates. Really good strategy. I think that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, to begin, I'm going to use experimentation at the interstellar shipping smuggling spot. I'm going to take my agent, put it right there. Bump myself up 1. Bump myself up 1. Take myself 1 Solari. And it's going to go to turn 2. Yellow team. They are going to tech negotiation, which they don't have spice right now, so they can't buy any spice. But they do get to put 1 troop they do get to put 1 troop on the tech negotiation tile, which will reduce the price of a tech tile down the road. All right, so that's yellow team. Now it's going to go to, got to move the agent, of course, to tech negotiation. All right, next turn. Conspire. Okay, so they're going to conspire, and red team moves up 1 on the track. They get 2 troops into combat. Actually, they don't. They just get 2 troops added to their garrison because they are not in a combat space. Now it goes back to me. What will I do? Now, originally I had thought that I was going to get into combat, but the smuggling spot is not a combat spot. For some reason, I had it in my mind the Haga Basin strategy, so like I got confused on my last turn. But really, now that I think about it, seeking allies right now. Okay, what do I want to do? I usually use this for. I wanted to use seek allies, and I usually use that for a fold space because you trash this card, you get a fold space. Fold space lets you go anywhere on this track, and you also trash that card, but you get to draw a card. So, but actually, because I really want to win this combat, I'm going to go to Hardy Warriors because I really want to have an advantageous first turn. I will have a ton of Solari. Yeah, so next turn I can get a Swordmaster. Yeah, I will get a Swordmaster next turn if I do this and win. And it's looking good for me right now, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to spend my Seek Allies, trash that card, it's gone forever, spend my water, bring my second agent to Hardy Warriors, bump myself up 1 on the tracker here, give myself 2 troops in the garrison, and I'm going to commit 2 troops that I just gained, plus, do I really want to do that? I'm going to give myself 3 troops because I have 2 daggers, so that's going to give me 6 total, what's shown, but in my hand I also have 2 daggers, so that should get me to 8. I feel like if I can just get past this next bit here, I feel like 8 is a good way to start this combat, but we'll see. It is early game, and things can get pretty dangerous early game. Okay, so let's get on to the yellow player. They're going to Carthag. Yellow player is going to Carthag, so they get a troop in their garrison. Their agent goes here. They're going to put in the troop they just generated, plus the 2 additional troops they get to generate as well. That's going to put them at 6, so they're tied with me. Yikes. That was dangerous. Maybe I should have put in another troop. But I just got to cross my fingers. All right, that's their turn. Let's go on to red team. What are they going to do? Dreadnought space. Wonderful. Wonderful. Right out of the gates, this guy's getting a dreadnought. Awesome. Good for him, you know? He has a dreadnought. If this rival already has 2 dreadnoughts, reveal another card. He still doesn't have enough spice for a tech tile, so that's good. All right, let's go to my turn now. It's a reveal turn, so I'm going to bump myself up 2. And what do I have to show for it? Wow, 2 persuasion. There's nothing in there I want for 2 persuasion, really. I don't know if the term is persuasion. It might be a different one. I'll have to look that up later to make sure I get my terminology correct. But the idea is I can use these 2 points to buy a card out of Imperium Row. And right now, all I can afford is the Arrakis Liaison, which I don't really want. I don't want that card clogging up my deck. I have 3 extremely expensive cards in that row. The Thufir Hawak card is really, really good. I want that bad. But it might take me a few turns to get to him. So that's going to be a wrap for me. I'm not buying anything. So I'll just put all my cards into the discard pile. And now it's going to be reveal for combat for the yellow team, who is the greatest threat to me right now. Oh, damn. They just got 4 points. If I had put in 1 more troop, we would have tied, so we still wouldn't have ended up getting the first place position. That is a crying shame. But that's okay. Okay, so what shall the next guy do? The next guy's not in combat, so he doesn't reveal a card. So he wins the first round. Darn it. He's going to get, these troops are going to go back to his supply, but he'll also earn himself a troop. And yellow team moves up 1, on the Chum track as a reward for winning first place. What do I get? I get 2 spice. Could be worse. Could be worse. I also lose all my troops. Yikes. That was a hairy one. That was hairy. Okay, well, time to put everything back where it was. You know, I'm really excited because I just found these really cool LEDs, and I'm going to put them underneath all of the agents so you'll be able to see better what agents are where. I'll have blue LEDs underneath the blue agents, and I'll have yellow LEDs under the yellow ones, red ones under the red, and so on and so forth. So as I'm placing them on the board, from your perspective, you'll be able to see better where everyone is, so you can examine and study the game that way far better. We're going to go to the second round. Flip the next conflict. All right, Solari. I did want Solari. Let's put all the troops back, shall we? Yellow goes back here. Blue goes here. Blue, yellow, and red. Not only that, but let's face it, the board is a little messy, and it's hard for me to remember where all the troops are, so scanning the board visually will be a lot easier for me as well, not just for the viewing audience, but just so I can collect these troops and get them back to where they need to be so I can start the next round much faster. Okay, so the coin is going to go to Duke Leto Atreides. Let's start with him. What's he going to do? We'll move these guys back over here. Okay, they're going to Carthag. He's going to get to move up 1 space in the Benny Twi'lek's research. Well, I don't know if that's the research bar. I gotta remember the name for that. I'll make sure to make a label for it. So he moves up 1 there, and he also gets a troop into his garrison because he just generated a troop in a combat zone. The troop he just generated goes into combat, plus the 2 that he has remaining. That's going to put him at 6 points in combat. Now it's going to go to Moritani. He's taking fold space. Darn it! I like taking fold space. I want that. Moritani's moving up on the tracker here. That's all he gets. Now it's my turn. Hey, look at that. I've got a signet ring, reconnaissance, experimentation, and diplomacy, plus a convincing argument. I got to think about what I want to do. Yeah, I could use experimentation. You know what's funny? The last turn, and I should have done this, and I feel like a fool. Normally, you know what I'm going to have to do? Normally, I want people to know that last turn I used experimentation, and I forgot to give myself the benefit of the research icon. So I'm going to do that now. But in the future, I'm going to hold myself more accountable to not forgetting these things, because these details matter, right? And I don't want to trick myself into giving myself a special advantage, you know, like, oh, I forgot to do a thing, I got to go back and fix it. Or get, you know, in the future, if I forget a thing, I mean, this situation is just like a simple track movement. This is simple, right? I can move a troop into the research space here, which is not a big deal. But like, if it's something that's more detrimental, I'm going to hold myself more accountable. If I make a little mistake, I'm going to have to just eat those things. I'm just going to have to accept that, whoops, I forgot, and I have to pay the price for that. That's the difference between playing the physical version of Dune as opposed to the digital version of Dune. Digital Dune, you can still make mistakes, but it makes it far, far more difficult to make a mistake in digital Dune. Playing this version of Dune, you forget a step, and it could cost you everything. In this case, it's pretty easy to rewind the clock. We all remember I used that card. I just forgot to move the tracker. So, okay, what do I want to do? I think I'm going to do the same thing as I did last turn. I'm going to go back to smuggling. Yeah, I'm going to go back to smuggling. I'm going to use experimentation. That's this card here. I'm going to go back to smuggling, drop my marker down an icon, and take 8 Solari. So I'll do that now, put my agent over here. Actually, I'm going to take 9 Solari because it gives you 1 Solari. So there's, let's see, that'll give me 10 total Solari, so I'll just take 2 5s right now. I've got 2 5s. I'm going to give back the 1 Solari that I took earlier, so that gives me a total of 10 Solari. Wonderful. Okay. Also, because I used experimentation, I get to move up 1 on the research tracker. And what do I want to do? I'm going to go down here and give myself a boost here. That's what I want to do. All right, now it's going to go back to the Duke Leto Atreides. What is he going to do? Wow, he's taking secrets. He's going to bump up 1 on this tracker. I left all these tokens right there. Whoops. Okay, anyway. All right, now it's going to go to Moritani. He's taking another dreadnought. Can you believe it? The gusto of this guy. Jeez, his garrison is so full. Okay, it's my turn now. I can take a Swordmaster and go for a 3rd turn, and that's what I'm going to do. If I do that, oh yeah, that's definitely what I'm going to do. I'm also going to be using my scheme as the Duke Baron, sorry, not the Duke, the Baron Vladimir Harkonnen. If I use my Signet Ring effect, I'll get to spend 1 Solari to get myself an Intrigue card. I'm going to take the Swordmaster. I'm beside myself at the moment. Why am I missing? Oh, goodness. Huh. That's the funniest thing. I left my Hardy Warriors from last turn. Here, I must have accidentally taken my Swordmaster early and assumed it was my... Yeah, the LEDs is going to do so much to help this. Because if I have my Swordmaster, I'm going to leave that light off until I take it. So that'll be like the indicator, you know. So, whoops, I'll just move my Hardy Warriors agent from there to there. Okay, so what am I doing? Right, Signet Ring, moving to Swordmaster, taking Swordmaster, putting him in my garrison over here, spending my money. It's going to cost me 8 of my 10 Solari to buy that Swordmaster, plus an additional Solari to use my scheme ability, so I'm spending 9 total Solari. All 10 of these are going away. I'm taking back 1. It's going to give me an Intrigue card. Let's see what I got. Okay, interesting. Lose 2 of your troops in the conflict, and I get this cool ability. So if I can get into combat on my next turn, that would be worth it, in my opinion, because winning this conflict is not super important to me. The Solari is not really all that enticing. However, exchanging this, using the troops in combat, I'll be able to move up 1 on this tracker, which would give me another Intrigue card, plus 2 more troops in the research bin, and I would be able to buy one of those cards up here in this row, which I can't remember the name of. Again, I'm going to get a label maker and label all this stuff. Anyways, it would be like getting a free one of these, but having a special ability. So I will be doing that on my next turn, if possible. So I used my Signet Ring. That's going into the standby pile. There's my Intrigue card, setting it right there for future use. And now we're going to go back to the Duke Leto Atreides. Actually, it's going to go back to me because they don't reveal, and it's not the combat phase yet. They've already used both of their agents. It's my turn again. Now, I wanted to get into combat, only so I can get the ability of this effect to lose 2 of my troops in the conflict. So if I go to Arrakeen, in fact, I have 3. Yeah, so this could be interesting. I wonder if I'll get a good card. I'll use my reconnaissance card. I'll go to Arrakeen. It's going to allow me to draw a card and generate a troop for my supply into the garrison, at which point I can now put in all 3 of my troops. And yeah, even though I said I didn't really want to win, I might as well take 2nd place, right? Because this guy's not even involved in combat. I could use 4 Solari. And and it's not combat round yet, but I still get to draw a card. I'm going to take my discard pile, shuffle it up, and draw a card. See what I get.
Oh, please.
I really hope it's a convincing argument so I can get Thuthi or Hawa. That would be fantastic, but I have to be really lucky for that. Let's see. Just so everybody knows, I'm going to do a real quick table shuffle in view of the camera. Normally, I'm not going to do that. You're just going to have to assume that I'm actually shuffling the cards correctly, but I'll show you the way I do it. That's about what I do. I usually do that about 2, maybe 3 times. Let's draw my card. Can you believe it? I swear I just drew a convincing argument. Oh my god, I'm going to get the Thuthi or Hawa. That's awesome. Okay, great. I'm very happy with that. Okay, so everything has been resolved in terms of our agent phase, so it's reveal phase. The Duke Leto Atreides reveals a whopping 5 additional points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's no way I'm going to be able to beat that, and I'm not really interested in beating that because I'm going to use Gruesome Sacrifice, lose 2 of my troops. Goodbye. I'm going to get to move myself up 1 on this tracker, get myself another intrigue card. Study Melange. I could just get 1 spice, or if I happen to reach the end of the Benny Twi'leks, if I have 3 spice or more, I can get a victory point at the end of this game. So I'll have to really think about if I'm doing that or not. It's only the second round. I've made it kind of far down that track. It might happen, but I just don't know yet. At any time, I could exchange it for 1 spice. So it's going to have to be kind of a throwaway. All right. So what was the other thing I was going to do? Correct. All right. So Moritani is not involved in combat, so I don't need to reveal a card for him. So that's all there is to that. I get 4 Solari. I already have 1 over there, so I'll just take a 5er and give back the single to the bank. This dude goes back, and now it's time to retreat or return all the agents. We got 2 yellow, blue, blue, and blue. That's the reagents for me. I have the Swordmaster. And 2 agents. Here he is. And here for Moritani, we're going to go into the 3rd round. Flip this. Okay. Trash a card. These are all going to go away. This guy's gone. All right, I feel pretty good about this. So far, things are working out. You know what I forgot to do, though? Forgot to put my 2 guys in the research bin so I could buy something. That's right. You know what I forgot? Now I just realized I got to buy a card from the garrison. Or I'm sorry, from the Imperium row. I'm going to buy that. Put that in the discard pile. Let's see what I got. That's an interesting card. Don't know if I'm going to use it. I hardly ever implement that card in my strategy. I just don't find it very interesting. I will say that if you get Chani, if I remember right, if you get Chani, which is like for every Fremen card in your deck, you'll get an additional 1 or 2 points. I can't remember for the Imperium row. That is when you're going to just buy all Fremen cards. So you could get Spice Must Flow. So that's something I would do. All right, so now all my cards are in the discard pile. Time to draw the next hand. My deck is comprised of 3 total cards. So I'm going to now take my discard pile and shuffle them up. Okay, as a guy with 3 agents, this is not a wonderful turn. You know, I might do something, but I have the Thufir Hawa, an experimentation, 2 daggers, and a convincing argument. But I'm not going to be the first person to go this round, but I just wanted you all to see my hand that I'm working with. Not a lot of movement. And I have 3 agents, so that is not fun. Those 2 daggers have gotten in my way twice now. Okay, Thufir Hawa. No, sorry, Moritani. The dude is going to Carthag. That's awesome. He's going to put in 2 dreadnoughts, plus the agent that he generates, plus an additional agent. Holy crap. It's massive. He gets to move up 1 on this tracker, and I believe what that is saying is I destroy this card here and reveal the next card underneath, Subject X137. Hey, cool, I can buy that. I think I will at the end of this round. When I do, I get to move this up 1. Oh yeah, I got to really quick. I can't believe I forgot to do this, but I got to put 2 spice there. Holy jeez, this whole time. Okay, I have been forgetting a very important thing. I guess I got so excited about the game. These are generating spice. This has got 3. Oh my goodness gracious. They all have 3 spice. Three. Silly me. Okay, so those are very enticing now. Okay, so Moritani just went and he put in a ton of troops. So he's got 3, 6, 8, 10 total. All right, good for him. Now it's my turn. Okay, so I think what I want to do, here's what I think I want to do. Okay, what I think I would like to do is, what I think I'd like to do is use my experimentation card to take the Imperial Basin. That's going to give me 4 spice. You know what I just realized? Actually, these don't all have 3. They have 2 because we're on the 3rd round. The first round, they don't get any. So they actually have 2. That was my mistake. I knew it was too good to be true. So yeah, I'm still thinking the Imperial Basin. I'm thinking I'm going to take the Imperial Basin with my experimentation card. Then I could bump up the research icon 1 more step, which is good. I could trash a card, but I don't have a discard pile, so I'd have to trash a card out of my hand. I could trash one of these daggers, which is good. But if I'm going to be honest with you, I don't mind having it at this time. Because I have Thufir Habwit, I have more opportunities to get intrigue cards. And that could be good for combat down the road. It's still early game. I don't know if I'm going to go combat heavy yet. You know, I just realized that I'm the Harkonnen, and that in the first round when I got all my troops in, I could have, if I did put in the other troop, triggered my Master Stroke, but it just didn't cross my mind. It's usually I like to save that for the end of the game if possible. A lot of people like to get it over with, but I feel like that gives too much away. You know, it's a race to get these coins, and sometimes people are under this false pretense that they're ahead of the race, but you have this Master Stroke, and you could jump them, or take a step and then earn it, and then take a leap over them and surpass them. So it's good to give people the illusion of success and then to take it away from them. I like that as a strategy. That's why I tend to use my Master Stroke late game, whereas many people I see use it seemingly as soon as possible, almost like first or second round, which kind of gives away the strategy. Okay, I've been rambling long enough, haven't I? Experimentation. is going over here, and I'm going to take my agent, and what was I going to do with him? That's right, Imperial Basin. I don't have any troops, but I am going to get 3 spice out of this exchange. And that could be good. Because I've been thinking of using selective breeding, trashing a dagger, spend 2 spice, trash one of my daggers, draw 2 cards, actually 3 cards, because I'll have used Thufir Howitt. Yeah, and because I use experimentation, I'm going to go down here, bump this up 1 space, and put a troop in the research thing here. Nice. I'm already close to getting a victory point and 2 additional spice. All right, now it's going to go to the Duke Leto Atreides. He's taking the Highliner. Good for him. It's going to give him 3 troops in his garrison. 1, 2, 3, and he's going to move up 1 on the tracker here. Okay, so now it goes back to Moritani. He's taking Harvest Spice. Where is that card? Harvest Spice. Maybe it's not a space. Let's see, it says, send an agent to the space with the most bonus spice for total spice if tied. If no spaces have bonus spice, reveal another card. Send an agent to the space with the most bonus spice. If no space. Okay, so that's obviously the Great Flat. And I'm guessing he's just taking the bonus spice. I feel foolish because I'm going to just really quickly look this up. Harvest Spice cards. If the card revealed is a Harvest Spice card, follow the instructions on the card. If the card sends a rival's agent to Harvest Spice, remove any bonus spice on the space. In a 2-player game, return it to the bank. When playing solo, follow the solo play rules for harvesting spice. Okay. Harvesting spice. Let's see. When a rival uses Harvest Spice to send an agent to a board space, it gains all spice there, base and bonus. Aha! Okay, so he already has 2 spice that he just got, plus he just got an additional 3. I thought so, because, it takes them 7 spice to get a victory point. All right, that's why I wanted to confirm that. I had a feeling that it didn't make sense. So he just went there. So now it's my turn. I think I'm going to take selective breeding. I'm going here to spend 2 spice. I'm going to trash a card. Goodbye, dagger. Gone forever. Drawing 2 new cards. I'm drawing a convincing argument and a reconnaissance. Nice. Maybe I might be able to get into this combat and take something. Ah, yes. Gotta move myself up on the tracker here. Okay, goes to Duke Leto Atreides. What's he gonna do? Ah, darn it. So much for me getting involved in combat with a reconnaissance card. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it now. And he's using his Signet Ring ability, but he doesn't have any spice, so he's not going to get to. Too bad, so sad. But he does get himself a troop in the garrison. He just generated 1 troop, but he gets to put in 2 more, so that's going to put him at 6. Okay, so now it's my turn. What do I want to do? Darn. Did I draw 2 cards or 3? Oh my gosh, I just realized. I drew a convincing argument and a reconnaissance. Yeah, I have to draw 3 cards. So I also have experimentation that I could use, and that would be good for me. Aha! With this is actually good. I could take experimentation, but I don't have water, so I can't take like a basin. I guess I could go to smuggling. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. That would give me 5. Yeah, 5 points for the Imperium row, which... the Bene Gesserit's sister looks interesting. I might take that. Between Opulence and Reverend Mother Mahayam, I think for this game, I like Opulence more. It just seems like so far I've had such success getting Solari, even though they're both very good cards. But how good could Reverend Mother Mahayam be in a solo game where there's like no real thinking from the other guys? Like it doesn't hurt them that they block a space, you know? Discarding 2 cards, like it just doesn't work. So it's kind of a dud card in a lot of ways. Okay, so where was I? Experimentation. That's what I'm going to do. I'm taking smuggling. Bump myself up 1 on the tracker. Take 1 Solari. I'm going to bump myself up over here. And then because I'm here, I get to do it again and take 1 Solari. Yay. I'm very close to the end, which is great because, you know what, I like this because yeah, wow, what will I do with this? I could do this and take this track. I could eventually get to the end, potentially, if I do things correctly. I'd like to come down here. I'm already up 1 on this track. I get 7 Solari. I'm already at 7 Solari. So I could get 2 of those. So I'd go 1, 2, that'd be 2 away. And then I'd have to find a way I got 1 of those. If I got the subject X137, I would get an additional 1 just for buying it. And then every time I used it, I would get another track. So I actually feel like that is a foregone conclusion. I'm going to beat this track. I'm going to get 2 victory points out of that. And I'll be able to potentially get a victory point at the end game for that. So it's like 3 victory points from using this track. But it just depends on if I want to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think I'm going to take this space next and then go here and then go here. I'll probably trash my dagger if I can. That's my strategy right now. That's what I think I'm going to go with long game. That'll get me some, yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do. Great. Okay, so I was not able to get involved in this combat, so great. You know, let's see what Duke Leto Atreides does. He's going to get himself 1, 2 points of combat. This dude's going to get himself 1 point of combat. First place takes a victory point. That goes to Moritani for the first victory point in the 3rd round. Second place gets himself 1 spice and 1 water. Duke Leto Atreides. I'm going to take off my jacket, if you don't mind. Okay, so now the Dreadnought, I believe, goes right back into the garrison while these troops go back to their supply. Let me just read the Dreadnought paragraph for world context. A rival always prefers to deploy dreadnoughts over troops and will deploy a dreadnought to the conflict whenever it can. Whenever a rival wins a conflict and its dreadnought must take control of a board space, which in this, let's see actually, there is no control of a board space for this one, but it says whenever a rival wins a conflict and its dreadnought must take control of a board space, it always covers an opponent's control marker when possible, and will avoid covering one of its own. When there are still multiple places a rival could send its dreadnought, it first prefers Imperial Basin for its vulnerable space, then proceeds counterclockwise around the board to Arrakeen, Carthag, and its last choice, for example, if no other player controls Imperial Basin, its opponent's control markers are at both Arrakeen and Carthag. The rifle would send its dreadnought to Arrakeen. Okay, so it starts at Arrakeen, goes to Imperial Spice clockwise, or, counterclockwise. But if nobody has a flag, then it goes straight to the Imperial Basin for its spice. Yeah, that makes sense. Each time you trigger a dreadnought icon, you may commission one dreadnought. Take it from your supply and put it in your garrison. Each player may have only 2 dreadnoughts commissioned at a time. If you have none left in your supply, you can't commission any more. They have 3 distinct advantages. They're powerful. Each dreadnought in a conflict is worth 3 strength. They're durable. When combat resolves, your dreadnought in the conflict don't return to your supply. If you don't win the conflict, return them to the garrison instead. When you win a conflict in which you had at least 1 dreadnought, you take control of 1 board space until the end of the next combat phase. Aha! So he's going to take this space because nobody has a flag at present time. It's now time to resolve the game board, put everything back where it belongs. So I'm just going to take my, oh goodness, what card did I want to buy? I thought I would take the Bene Gesserit's sister, and I'm definitely taking this. That's going to cost me 2 of these, which is not a problem. And right away, I'm going to get this victory point and 2 spice. Think. Bene Gesserit's sister, is that what I want? What am I going to do with that? I guess I can go to secrets. And I can always use the combat. Okay. So, this generates another spice. Yeah, I think that's it. Round 4. Okay. I need to reveal this card. Ooh, that's nice. Face Dancer. That's very enticing. Now, From the Tanks is a good card, except I don't want to go to any of those green spaces, like the Mentat, Swordmaster, High Council. None of those spaces are interesting to me. I don't want them. I already got my Swordmaster, and the Mentat, I don't really need it so much at this time. Besides, I need to save my 7 Solari for the Bene Twi'leks. Okay. The Face Dancer is pretty rad. I'm not going to lie. That is a good card. This is a very good hand. I've got Diplomacy, Signet Ring, Experimentation, Thufir, Hawa, and Experimentation. This is a good hand. Okay, all right. I think I'm going to gain a lot of ground. Okay, so I think what I could do, considering, especially since I have so much spice, I have to have 3 or more spice to get the end game victory point. I'm pretty sure I can generate that later. I have 5 spice now. Okay, so my first turn, I think I'm going to use Thufir Hawat, go to Still Suits, get myself a victory point and a water token. Then I could use Signet Ring to go to the Haga Basin, get myself a buttload of spice. Then I could use Diplomacy to go to Highliner. That sounds like a good strategy, right? I think it's good. I'm going to do it. Let's see how it rolls out. Thufir Hawat, taking Still Suits. Get myself 1 water token and draw a card. Through convincing argument. I have no combat troops, but I do bump up 1 on the tracker, and I get a victory point. They also drew Still Suits, but they don't get to go there. They're harvesting spice. They just stole all my spice. No! That goes my strategy. I wanted all that spice. So they got, all right. They're sitting on, right now, 6 spice, so they're 1 away from getting a victory point. Oh my gosh, that is such a bummer. Damn you, Hagal. It's a combat space, so 1 troop goes in and put that marker down to 2. All right, next space. Moritani going to Karthat. Generates a troop. Wonderful. 1, 2, 3, and 7. Right on. Now it's my turn. I would love to have spice right now. I'm at 5. If I go to Imperial Basin, yep. Red's going to get a free spice, but I need it, so I'm going to do it. I still want my strategy to work. Do I want to use my Signet Ring? And no, I do not. I'm going to use my experimentation so I can move on that track. That's right. Then I'll be able to get a victory point because I'll probably bump. I haven't even used the Emperor space yet at all. Can you believe that? Man, I wonder if I should just do that. I don't think I should. I think I'm just going to have to find a way to do it later. I got to get these victory points now. So, okay. I'm using experimentation, taking my agent now, putting it over here in Imperial Basin. I'm going to give 1 spice over to this dude. He's at 6 spice. That's 1 away from getting himself a victory point. I'm going to give myself 1 spice as well. That gives me 6 spice. I have no troops in combat, so I can't put anything in. Duke Lato's Atreides is going to interstellar shipping. Oh, you know what? He can't do that. If the rival doesn't have 2+ after reveal another card, he can't go there. He doesn't have 2 influence. So he's going to take selective breeding instead. He's just simply going to bump up here. He's going to get himself a victory point for having done that. Good for him. Okay, so now it's going to Moritani. Carthag is already taken, so we can't go there. Harvesting spice. Send an agent to the space with the most bonus spice or total spice if tied. If no spaces are available, reveal another card. Yeah, so we're gonna have to reveal another card. Research station. That's a good card. Research station. Where is that space? Oh, here it is. Good for him. He's going to bump up this track too. 1, 2. He does get himself an intrigue card, which if he collects 3 of these, he'll have himself a victory point. Now it goes back to me. Oh, that's right. Diplomacy. Take my agent. You know what I just realized? Research station is a combat space, so he gets to put in 2 more troops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I decided to go to diplomacy. I'm going to highliner, but 1 second. I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's going to put me at 10, and I don't have any. I have no combat, so I'm only going to get to 2nd place. That is so not worth it to me. I mean, I'm still going to do it just to get troops in my garrison and get the 2. Yeah. Oh, gosh, you know what I just realized? Sorry, guys. My last turn, when I used experimentation, I didn't bump myself on this tracker. There. Doing it now. Yeah, I'm still going to use it, but I'm just going to have to hoard my troops and only chunk in a few so I can get the 2nd place prize. That's what I'm probably going to do. It's going to cost me all of my spice. Womp womp. And I need that 3 for the end of game victory point, which is essential to my strategy. But that's great. I'm going to get myself 2 water. I have 3 water now. And yeah, I gotta move my agent to highliner. Duh. And I can bump myself here, get a victory point. Yeah, I am playing on easy mode, so there's a very good chance I'm probably gonna win. I'm pretty good at this game. I just have to remember all the little teensy details. I play digital for the most part, you know, and I just play all the time. I play at least 1 game a day. I've been doing it for months now. You should check my group text with my friends. They can't stand how frequently I bug them with all my photos I take of my victories. Okay, so that is a combat space. So I get 5 troops. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to put in, I can get to put up to 5 troops, but I think I'm only going to put in 3 because, yeah, I feel like that's a pretty good way. 2, 4, 6. I don't think they're going to be able to pass me. I mean, I'll be pretty bummed out if they do, but, you know, whatever. Here we go. The Duke Leto Atreides. What's his card going to be? He doesn't get anything, so I win that combat against him. So I get the 2nd place position, which is awesome. And now it's going to be this guy who already was going to win anyway. So what does he get? He gets to bump on the tracker he has the least amount of influence on. Oh, he just got himself a victory point. He got 2 intrigue cards. 1, 2, plus 3. We'll just put them in here and move his tracker over here. So good for him. But where does he have the least amount? I guess I might as well just start him off with the Fremen. It's random, right? So it doesn't matter. Alright, since I won 2nd place, I get myself 1 intrigue card. Alright, I guess that's pretty cool. I'll take it. I'll use it on my next turn. And I also get 1 spice. Combat resolves. We're going to the 5th round. They get their sword master upstairs now. Right, Great Flat was the only place that didn't get a spice, so I gotta remember to do that before I put the agents back. Is there any card I want to buy? 1, 2, 3, 4. Technically, I'm supposed to buy before combat, but, it doesn't matter. 4. I've got those 2 troops that I want to buy face dagger. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Because I need to get those Emperor spaces, right? I need to get those Emperor spaces. So these 2 troops go away. Nice. I got Face Dancer Initiate, which is like basically the same card, just slightly worse. So I got lucky. Because I revealed experimentation, I get to put 1 troop into the research area. With only 4 points to buy something, I don't want to buy anything in the Imperium row. None of it looks good. Okay, so to begin the next round, I've got a Bene Gesserit's sister, a subject X-137. I must use that card in order to get the ability. I have to use it in order for my strategy to work, so that's happening. With Bene Gesserit, I think I'm going to have to use it to go to selective breeding so I can draw more cards, so I can go to more spaces. What am I going to do with my subject 137? I think I'm going to go... I don't need to go to High Council. That's off the... I might take the Mentet. Yeah, there's not really a lot there. I might go to... Let's see, whenever you recruit troops from the shipping track... Recruit an additional troop. You may deploy any of them to the conflict, the shipping track. Interesting. So that would give me more incentive to use interstellar shipping, which I can go to now. So that would cost me 2 spice. So I might use subject X-137 to go to... With only 1 spice, though, I could go to Tech Negotiation and just buy that and get that ability. That could be good. And yeah, I think I might do that actually. So I could use Subject X137 to go to Tech Negotiation, Bene Gesserit to go to Selective Breeding, draw some new cards, see where we're at, maybe get some troops involved in this combat. That's going to be great, because if I choose two, I'm definitely going to choose to bump myself up one on the Emperor's Row, but then if I go to Interstellar Shipping, I get a influence. I'm going to get the victory point from that as well on Emperor's Row. This one over here. So that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. So if I could win this combat, I'd look pretty good. So that's what I'm probably going to do. All right, so first things first, it's Atreides' turn to start this round. Oh my god. They just took my strategy. Oh man. He gets another victory. Oh man. That was my plan. Alright, it's still not too late. I can get the victory point if I just go to secrets instead, but I just won't have as many cards. You know what I realized though is it wouldn't have worked because I don't even have 2 spice. So why am I so bummed out? Moritani's turn. He's going to Carthag. Starting at 5 combat. It is now my turn. So, right, I'm going to immediately use my subject X37. Tech negotiation, spend my 1 spice to buy. I have a negative 1 spice discount on any tech icon. I'm going to buy troop transports. Hey, what do you know? I also get 1 additional influence. Oh, that's cool. That's a good tech icon. Also, I get to bump up 1 on this track. Nice. But that's all I can do for this turn. Atreides still suits. I gotta just like put his agents here so I can actually reach him. Still suits. He gets to bump up 1 on this track. He has no agents or troops in his garrison, so he can't enter combat, unfortunately. Moritani. He does not. Oh, okay, he has fold space. He's going to go to fold space. And he's just bumping up 1 on this track to get himself a victory point. Moritani is giving me a run for my money. He's tied with me now. It's going to go back to me. I'm going to take the Bene Gesserit. Yeah. Yeah, I have to really cross my fingers. Actually, I could go to Research Station right now, draw 2 cards, bump myself up on the tracker. I could do that. I think I will. I'm just going to have to wait and see if I still want to use Bene Gesserit's sister on secrets after I draw 2 new cards. That's what I'm going to do, because I have 3 water. So I should definitely do that. That is what I'm going to do. And it's a combat space, so I can put my troops in. That's awesome. All right, so for my turn, reconnaissance. I'm spending 2 water. I'm going to draw 2 cards. I got to shuffle my discard pile. Everything's on the side. I'm going to shuffle it 3 times this time. Normally I do about 2, but 3 times seems right. I don't know why. Also, I just want to note that the cards that I've already used are not going into the discard pile. They are on standby until the end of this round. They do not just go straight to the discard pile. They sit on a sideline till the end of the round resolves, then it goes to the discard pile. So these are not getting shuffled in. I never got to use this. I'm going to do it now. Let me just draw my cards. I got 2 experimentations. Nice. Let's see how that works. Put 2 troops in combat. It's 4. And move myself up here. Oh, that is such a bummer. I'm going to definitely put a troop in the research area. But now I have to think about what I want to trash. I can get rid of this dagger once and for all. Goodbye, dagger. Both my daggers are gone. Okay, so the question is, I got to use this now. Awesome. Know their ways gives me 1 bump on the Fremen space. I guess on my next turn I might just... No. Interstellar shipping. I'm being a fool. Right, okay. Duke Leto Atreides, where are you going to go? Harvesting spice. Oh, he just got himself a victory point. He's getting 4. I'll just give back this and give him a 5er. Of the 5, he's going to spend 7 to get himself a victory point. He's now at 2. That's good. Good for him. Okay, so now it goes to Moritani. Or Rakim. He goes here. He gets to use his signet ring ability. He's spending a spice to move on his tracker here up 1. Nice. Okay, and then, yeah, he did generate a troop. That's right, he did. So that's going to enter combat. He's now at 7. Now it goes to me. If I go to Bene Gesserit's sister. So I don't think I'm going to be able to win this combat. It's not looking good. Did I want to go to Bene Gesserit's? Oh, you know what I could do? I could. With my tech, I could win this combat. I could win it if I get lucky. I'll tell you how. I could use my experimentation card. Okay? I could go to interstellar shipping. Bump myself up 1, bump myself back down. I would get influence 3 troops because I have one of those, and I can put them directly into combat. It'd be 2, 4, 6. Put me at 10. Then I would have Bene Gesserit's sister give myself an additional 2 jump. That puts me in a significant lead, and that's what I'm going to do. So if I do everything right, I should get, this is a really cool strategy. I think I'm going to do that. So experimentation. I get to move over here. Oh, great. Okay. Let me resolve that first. I'll put my agent where I want to put him. To resolve this tracker, I made it to the very end, spending $7 right now, so I can get 2 leaps. Here, I get 1 intrigue card and a victory point. Oh, wow, that is a useless card for me at this point. Oh, well. It would have been good a minute ago, but oh well. No big deal. Okay, so from now on, if I draw or use any more of these experimentation cards, I will be drawing a card instead. Okay. Okay, we're only in the 5th round and I'm running out of time. I'm going to have to finish this another time. I've got probably another 10 minutes and then I got to cancel out and start game 1, session 2. But I'll just leave everything where it is and we'll pick up where we left off another time. But I'm still going to resolve this game. So all right. A little bit of ADD scatterbrain going on here, maybe. I actually don't have ADD, but I'm just going to say that for funsies. Okay. So I went to interstellar shipping. I'm going to bump up 1 and come back down 2. I'm going to bump myself up 1 on Conspire. I'm sorry, on Emperor's Row. I'm going to give myself 3 troops into the garrison, put them into combat. It's going to be 2, 4, 6. Right on. Pretty happy with that. Goes to Duke Leto Atreides. He has nothing in combat, so nothing happens for him. Now it's going to be this dude. He gets himself 1 point. I win the conflict. Yes. I'll just give myself these 2 additional points anyway. That's what I said I was going to do, so that's what I'm going to do. But this is exactly the reason why you're supposed to buy cards out of Imperium Row first. I'm going to put a 3rd dude in here now. I'm going to buy... I'll have to wait till the end of the next round to buy a dude, because I got to start doing it correctly in the correct order, just to minimize mistakes. So I bumped myself up 2. That's what I said I was going to do. I'm just going to stick to that. Otherwise, I could have had $5 to buy in the Imperium Row, which that would be good for that card, Carry All, because I want Spice right now, so I can implement my strategy at the end of this game. But honestly, it's not important. So since we are now resolving the conflict, and I won, I get to choose 2. I don't see myself using the Emperor's spaces anymore for the rest of this game, so I'm going to choose Emperor, take that, get myself a victory point, and I'm going to bump myself on the Bene Gesserit track as well and get another victory point. Yeah. I could take the Fremen space and get a victory point as well and get a piece of water, but I already have 1 water, and I just wanted to get that out of the way, because I don't think I want to use these spaces anymore unless I absolutely have to. I do see myself going to Hardy Warriors in the not-too-distant future, getting the token, the Alliance token, getting the troops, and so on and so forth. So what does this guy get? He gets himself 2 Solari and a water, taking 2nd place. Okay. Now, this space generates a spice, this space generates a spice. His troops go back to his supply, my troops go back to the supply, his dreadnoughts go back to the dreadnought garrison space. We're going to flip over to 6. All right, finally, the Imperial Basin is on the line. The Imperial Basin is on the line. Okay, well, I need to try to win this. All right, lastly, let's get all the troops, agents back to where they belong. It's the Duke Leto Atreides' turn. Maybe we should resolve it now. I think that's probably what we're going to have to do. Okay, so we're on the 6th round. It's the start of the 6th round. Everything is set and ready to go. I'm going to shuffle up my discard pile over here. Actually, I just put all my cards in my discard pile. Draw my next hand. I'll start you off by showing you what my hand is going to be. Face Dancer, Diplomacy, Signet Ring, Convincing Argument, Thuthier Howat. Wow, nice. Very cool. I could potentially draw... If I attach this Grafter card, so what I could do, you know, if I'm lucky enough, I don't know what he's going to draw, but if I'm lucky, I could graft Face Dancer to Thuthier Howat, and then I could go to Hardy Warriors, get some troops, draw 2 new cards. Right? Then I would go to Signet Ring. I would go to... Yeah. By then, I'll have 1 additional water because I'll have taken the Alliance token and got myself a water for having done that. So I could go to Haga Basin. That would give me either 3 spice. And then what will I do with the last card on my last turn? Oh, I don't know. Diplomacy. Well, you know, I don't know what those 2 cards are going to be that I'm going to draw, so that might change my strategy. But as I see it at this point, I might as well take secrets. You know, might as well take secrets. But, you know, I'll be honest with you, I would rather not use diplomacy at all. Because what I'd rather do is, if I can possibly draw an experimentation card, I'd rather go to interstellar shipping. Get myself some Solari, some spice, some troops. So that's probably what I'll do. If I'm lucky, I can draw a card like that, but I have to be lucky. So that's my hand. We're just going to set it, leave it as is, and we will pick up the game where we left off. It's time to reshuffle the deck anyway, because literally, House Hagal is literally down to 1 card, and I don't know what it's going to be, but I don't know. It's about time to shuffle this, but I'm not gonna, because it's got 1 card left, so we'll just set it right there. I don't know what it is. And yeah, so that's a wrap for this turn. This is session 1, game 1. We're going to come back for the rest of this game soon. I have a pretty significant lead. I feel like I'm going to win. This is easy mode, you know, so what do you expect? But I just wanted to do a test run, a test game to see how much time it was going to take, and also to just get something on here, you know. I want to get a game going. So thank you for hanging out and watching. It's not the end of the game, but thanks for hanging out and watching me play for now, and please hang out for session 2 to complete this game. Bye for now. Yes, I am sure I want to quit the stream. Okay.